Hello and welcome. My name is Zaffar Iqbal and you are watching The Mojo Story. Weeks after the BBC released a documentary on 2002 Gujarat riots titled India, the Modi Question, the Income Tax Department conducted surveys at the offices of the BBC in Delhi and Mumbai in connection with the alleged tax irregularities. BBC has tweeted saying the income tax authorities are currently at the BBC offices in New Delhi and Mumbai, and we hope to have the situation resolved as soon as possible. Earlier, the government had asked the YouTube and Twitter to take down the links of the documentary. The documentary also revealed for the first time an unreleased UK government report. Meanwhile, leaders from the opposition have hit out at the government for the surveys at the BBC office. To discuss this, we're joined by an eminent panel. We're joined by Anandan, who represents the BJP. She's a spokesperson of the BJP. We're also joined by Sarvesh Mishra of the Aam Aadmi Party. Yash Srivastava from the Congress also joins us. Senior journalist Rahul also joining us, and PKD Nambiar, who's a political analyst, also joins us. But before we go to our panelists, let's go across to our correspondent Santosh, who is in Mumbai, just outside the BBC office where the raids are taking place. Let's try and get a sense of the situation from him. संतोष जी, इस वक्त क्या हालात है वहाँ पे? अभी भी ये जो सर्वे है, अभी भी ये चल रहे हैं? आप बिल्कुल बीबीसी ऑफिस के बाहर है।
जी, सर्वे कहें या रेड कहें, ये अभी तक कंफ्यूजन बना हुआ है। मैं खुद कंफ्यूज हूँ। यहाँ के सारे जर्नलिस्ट जो खड़े हैं यहाँ पर, सभी के सभी ये अब तक कंफ्यूजन है कि इसे रेड कहा जाए या सर्वे कहा जाए। लेकिन जिस हिसाब से आईटी डिपार्टमेंट्स के लोग और बीजेपी के लोग इसे सर्वे करार दे रहे हैं, तो जिस तरह से उनके मोबाइल फोन बीबीसी के कर्मचारी को ले लिए गए, उनके लैपटॉप्स ले लिए गए, वो कुछ पत्रकार थे बीबीसी के, उनके तक के मोबाइल्स ले लिए गए। तो ये अब तक कंफ्यूजन है कि इसे सर्वे क्यों कहा जा रहा है। ये तो एक हिसाब से रेड हो गया, क्योंकि मोबाइल फोन जब्त कर लेना और उन्हें कह देना कि आप घर जाइए, आपका मोबाइल फोन दे दिया जाएगा, आपको कुछ दिनों में सूचित कर दिया जाएगा। उनसे पासवर्ड कहा गया है, आप खोल के जाइएगा। और सुबह 11 बजे की टीम आई हुई है, अब 6 बज रहे हैं। 11 से 6 यानी 6 से 7 घंटे बीत चुके हैं और अब तक टीम अंदर ही है, अब तक बाहर नहीं आई हुई है। तो जहां तक कहा जाए कि ये सर्वे नहीं हो सकता, ये एक हिसाब से रेड है।
लैपटॉप, मोबाइल फोन वगैरह भी सीज किए हुए हैं और एम्प्लॉइज को बताया गया है कि आप फिलहाल जब तक ये कार्रवाई चल रही है तब तक बाहर न निकले।
बाहर नहीं, यहाँ पर तो घर भेज दिया गया है, ये कह करके कि इन्वेस्टिगेशन जैसे जैसे होगा, जिसको बुलाया जाएगा वो आएंगे सिर्फ, बाकी लोग ऑफिस से बाहर रहे। घर जाना चाहे जाए, कैफेटेरिया में बैठे, ऑफिस के अंदर नहीं बैठ सकते हैं, ये बताया गया है यहाँ पर फिलहाल।
ठीक है, let's go to our panelists now, but before that I want to play the sound bite of the BJP and the Congress when the BJP spokesperson Govt was specifically asked about this. This is what he had to say.
BBC के अगर कृत्य देखें, जिसके उदाहरण मैं आपके समक्ष अभी पेश करूंगा, तो यह पूरे विश्व की सबसे भ्रष्ट बकवास कॉरपोरेशन हो गई है। और दुख की बात यह है कि बीबीसी का प्रोपेगेंडा और कांग्रेस का एजेंडा एक साथ मेल खाता है। बीबीसी का जो इतिहास है कलंकित, काला, द्वेष भावना से भारत के खिलाफ कार्य करने का रहा है। और कांग्रेस पार्टी को सबसे पहले तो यह याद करना चाहिए किस तरह से देश की प्रधानमंत्री श्रीमती इंदिरा गांधी जी ने खुद बीबीसी पे बैन लगाया।
Anandan, why is the BJP saying that BBC is the most corrupt organization in the world?
See, I don't think there is anything wrong in that. Because, first of all, the BBC, I would call it the Beast Broadcasting Corporation. Basically, because they say it's a documentary. And have they been true in their documentaries or in their recordings of the history? They have not. If we were to go to, if they have the Tower of London, where they have the stolen artifacts from all the colonies all over the world. And now they are saying that this Gujarat, this thing is a documentary. I would like to ask them, they are talking about the Gujarat riots, but what incited the riots? Should they not start from the beginning? They cannot start from the middle and put the entire blame. Plus, also, I question the timing of this issue. And I think we don't need traitors outside. We have enough and more inside our own country. And these two together, these two, both outside and inside, joined together and maligning. The Congress has no shame. We have Mrs. Indira Gandhi who would ban the same BBC. And now the same Congress is holding it aloft ahead. So let's not forget, BBC is definitely not right. If they say it is a documentary, it has to be an honest version. It cannot be a one-sided, perverted version of what they want the world to see. And I think it is an orchestrated attack on the Modi government to belittle this government in the world scenario. Because we are rising, they're all scared of the growth of India. That is what scares them.
But let's also play the sound bite of Jairam Ramesh before we go to the Congress representative Yash Srivastava.
यहाँ हम जेपीसी की मांग कर रहे हैं अडानी के मामले में और वहां सरकार बीबीसी के पीछे पड़ी हुई है। विनाशकाले विपरीत बुद्धि। यहाँ हम जेपीसी की मांग कर रहे हैं अडानी के मामले में और वहां सरकार बीबीसी के पीछे पड़ी हुई है। विनाशकाले विपरीत बुद्धि।
Yash Srivastava, you heard there. What is the basis for Congress leaders to criticize the BJP when the BJP is reminding the Congress that Indira Gandhi had banned the BBC in the past?
I don't know why Uma ma'am is so furious right from the start. I fail to understand. But I would want her to remember that Indira Gandhi ji also banned RSS for the second time in history, one of the three. And about playing audios, if I am permitted, can I play one audio here? I have this.
जब तक हमारे देश में आकाशवाणी थी, दूरदर्शन थी, लिमिटेड अखबार से, तब तक आम आदमी के बीच बात क्या होती थी? ये कहते थे, यार ये तो मैंने बीबीसी पे सुना है।
ये व्यक्ति कौन है जो बीबीसी की तारीफ
but that is not the answer to the question. That's not the answer to the question.
No, the answer is that when you conduct a raid and when you call just any random thing an attack on India, you must define the premises of your attack. If that is not a survey, if it is a survey, then you should be lenient towards the employees. They are people with families. They are living. They are doing their job. The same BBC would have been praised in high regard had it been praising this government. And now, when there is a simple question asked by Rahul Gandhi ji in Parliament, we have a supposed, I never deem him so, but supposed, as per them, a strong man who is shivering hands, drinking n number of glasses of water and saying that ek akela. So I see it in two ways. First off, he is probably in an illusion, or he has forgotten the 300 people sitting behind him. That is a disregard to their support. And second,
but you know the point that the BBC is making, that Congress, Prime Minister of the Congress Party, Indira Gandhi, had banned the BBC in the past. So why is Congress making a noise now?
Okay, if Congress had banned BBC, then Congress had also banned RSS. That is why I said that in first place.
Right.
And if BBC is anything to consider a traitor or anything like that, these people have been in power for 9 years now. It's going to be a decade next year. And only now that they have realized that, oh, we have a traitor working amongst us. This is not
Only
happening.
now, only now they have realized. Rahul Dev ji, if you can hear me, only now the BBC has realized that BJP has realized that BBC is a traitor, according to the Congress spokesperson. But do you think there is a definite connection between the BBC documentary and today these raids or surveys that are going on right now?
If you were to ask this question of a child, he would say yes. It's too palpable,
No.
too in your face, and too self-evident. I mean, it doesn't require any interpretation or even thinking. It is for first time, to my knowledge, that in 75 years the BBC has been raided or sort of thought to be searched like this. And is it a coincidence that on 17th January, BBC started, it released that documentary in 2 parts, and less than a month, we have these raids. And not just raids. If you look at our friend Gaurav Bhatia's fulminations and the reactions of other BJP friends, you can see that the real purpose is political. The things that they are accusing BJP of are all political things. No one is talking of an IT infringement or violation of some income tax laws or some foreign currency regulations. What are they talking? What is the BJP talking about? Pure politics. So the intent behind the search is clear politics. It is the IT is only a facade. I'm sure maybe other agencies would suddenly wake up and they'll find, oh my God, BJP is involved in an anti-BJP conspiracy, BBC. So let's do more work. I mean, I'm
You mean the other agencies will also come into picture?
I'm sorry.
You mean the other agencies will also come into picture after they see today's surveys that are taking place?
I don't know if they will or they will not, but I won't be surprised. No one should be surprised.
Right.
This alone is enough, and I'm surprised at how the projection, what we are projecting of ourselves to the world, that we are so fragile, we are such a weak government and weak state and weak democracy that a corporation, a broadcasting corporation that is respected the world over, a corporation that has in the past several times criticized its own governments, its own politicians, and it has been criticized by them as well, as should happen to any good news organization, that it should hurt governments where they need it to be heard. Then all sorts of motives are now being imputed to BBC. I question the BBC is not fully out of innocent of blame. The way that documentary has been created and its timing are suspect. There are questions to be asked. But the reaction of a government, of a solid government, of a self-assured, a self-confident nation and a government should be more I would say, matured. Not like this immediate reaction that, okay, you hurt us, we are going to hurt you more. I'm surprised.
There should be a more mature reaction, PKD. And the point that Rahul ji raises, that what is the message that goes across India as a strong democracy or as a fragile democracy, a weak democracy, that it's surveying media organizations' offices?
Well, there is one thing I wanted to tell you. Any of these so-called media organizations, none of them are दूध का धुला हुआ, तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. Especially some of the so-called custodian of democracies across the world, whether it is BBC or say similar kind of. That is the first step. So let's not give some kind of a blanket. They can never go wrong. They are absolutely something beyond even a touch-up. We can't even. So let's take away. And most of the media houses across the world are business houses. Like the way I do a business or Rahul ji does a business, they are business houses there to make profit. So first and foremost, and they always have direct or indirect motives when they do any kind of a programs. And so let's have this, that they are like, they are not a judiciary or anything. So they are all corporations. And in Indian context, now we know that most of the media houses in India now is uh, powered or owned or run by large business houses who talks about or listed houses, who talks about the profit. So that is one. Second part is that what is the real problem if there is an income tax search do take place? First and foremost, it is not a raid, and I know the difference between a search and a raid. And the search is, CBDT officials have clearly clarified it is currently a search, and if they find something not right, then they will go for a raid or they will do the rest of the stuff. So I think it is, if the BBC do not have anything to hide, any agency for that matter visit to their place, any law abiding company will be very welcoming them and saying that, okay, there is nothing, even if you have a political vendetta, come over, my doors are open, please come and search, look at anything. If you are finding something not right, then you take the action. If you have nothing else, this can be treated as just another routine activity of an income tax officials. And believe me, income tax officials visit at least thousands of places every day. So I think the moment it becomes BBC, BBC means we still have that colonial mindset. Some of the people in India, they feel that anything and everything what BBC says is that I've been on panel of BBC multiple times, and I don't get any kind of extra happiness of being in the on the BBC show. So I think let us treat this as a routine law enforcement agencies activity, and if they don't find anything discriminating there, then there is nothing problem. Now coming to this collaborating this with the timing of it, what Rahul said.
That's exactly what the BBC says, that they said that they are cooperating and the matter will be resolved. There is the tweet of the BBC. It says we hope to have this situation resolved as soon as possible, and we are fully cooperating.
That's what a responsible organization is supposed to do. And as far as that is concerned, that's it. The matter is end and over. Why do we even need to have a discussion and debate? I'm not even going for the documentary part. As I said, BBC has never been in 68 and 69, in 1968 and 69 during the Indira Gandhi's time, what they did and why it was blocked or banned, then also there is a story. So any particular organization, whether it is a media house or a private or a public organization or a foreign funded organization, cannot function in our land and making mockery of our own judicial system. In the case of Godra or in the case of Gujarat violence, our own apex court, not once, multiple times, multiple agencies have already given a clean chit, and BBC have no business to rake this up just before the election of 2024. I think we should have the courage to question the BBC of the timing of that documentary and the intention of that documentary, without even mentioning about the Godra where it started, and as somebody else was telling in this panel, starting in the middle and taking into a different narrative. That shows the timing. As far as the income tax, I'm a business entrepreneur. I think income tax searches are very, very routine in our country. If there is nothing wrong they have done, they are absolutely safe and sound. And let me tell you this, there is not really much of a challenge for an employee. I was told, and in fact, even in your own reporter said, they have been asked to deposit their mobile phones, and all those employees, other than people, have been.
Let me also go to the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson. I know, yes, you want to come in, but let me ask Sarvesh Mishra. Sarvesh ji, the BJP says that it's an independent agency. Why are you then criticizing the BJP? They're doing their job. They're conducting their surveys. What's the problem?
नहीं, बात बस ये है कि जब हिडन वर्क की एक रिपोर्ट आती है और अडानी से इतने लाखों करोड़ों के घाटे की बात आती है, तो उस पर कोई फाइनेंशियल सर्वे क्यों नहीं करा? तो को देखने को भी मिलता।
Okay, we seem to have some problem with the audio there. But Yash, you want to come in?
See, in the words of Mr. Nambiar himself, if there is nothing wrong, then why not simply answer the question in the parliament itself? Why escalate it to such a level when you have to be dramatic in the parliament, then you have to make a hue and cry, then you have to whine all you want, then you have to conduct a raid in the guise of survey? If you have nothing to hide, just clarify your terms with whatever you have with Gautam Adani. And
No, but
if not, and
we're
again,
talking about
if
the BBC right now.
I am talking about the very thing that started this in the first place. See, Rahul Gandhi poses a question in the Lok Sabha. He simply asked, Rahul Gandhi ji had mere 4 questions, that what are the proper premises of terms between Gautam Adani and Narendra Modi ji. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, but the question revolves around the BBC documentary and today's raids at the BBC offices,
yes,
not
I am
about
there.
Adani and
No.
the links with the Congress is alleging it has with the BJP.
I am around the subject, sir. I am saying that if you have so much of conviction that anyone can be conducted an IT raid in the guise of survey, like BBC is facing today, then what is the problem in answering a simple question? Nothing of this would have been here. Also, when you seize smartphones of companies' employees and just ask them to go home, and with their phones unlocked in the possession of a random person, why not you try handing your own phone to someone? They have their family pictures, they have their bank details, their private conversations. Why does a random employee has to face so intense questioning and such an air of fear?
Right. You made your point. Rahul, do you want to come in? Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. So firstly, I couldn't understand what is the point in bringing in Adani business here in this this discussion. I don't see the point. But now, next, one has to make a distinction between the phone or laptops of a normal organization and a journalistic organization and those of journalists. Now, journalists are supposed to protect their sources. When you raid
Yes.
or take away the phones and laptops of journalists, you are taking away much more than personal pictures and family pictures and bank details.
Yeah.
Now, a journalist in that sense is little different from a normal citizen. So he doesn't enjoy any extra legal rights, but this is the norm followed by the entire democratic world. So there are issues here. Secondly, my friend PKD, of course, gave his version, but I asked earlier also, if this was a simple IT search and they had genuine, valid questions that they needed answers for, they needed facts, and they needed to cross-check certain things, fine, absolutely fine. No individual or organization can object to a search like this or an investigation like this. But the way the BJP itself is reacting to BJP, the names it is calling BJP, its full-blown, full power, full force is being directed against the BJP with nothing but political accusations, political content. Then this fact, the reaction itself proves that the real reason is not income tax. The real reason is political. That question must be answered.
Right. I think we got Sarvesh Mishra back with us. I hope you can hear us. You wanted to make a point, Sarvesh. Please go on. Okay, we seem to have lost the connection with Sarvesh again. But PKD, please answer. Sarvesh, can you hear me now? आपको आवाज आ रही है सर्वेश जी? आप अपना पॉइंट रखिए, आप कुछ बोल रहे थे।
देखिए, अगर बात यह है कि ये एक नॉर्मल रेड है, नॉर्मल इस तरीके से की जा रही है, तो इस समय देश में एक अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संस्था हिंडनबर्ग की रिपोर्ट आई है और लाखों करोड़ों रुपए हमारे देश के लोगों के डूब गए। तो क्यों नहीं कोई फाइनेंशियल सर्वे अडानी ग्रुप पे कराया गया? क्या इसकी कोई खबर आई क्या? इस समय इस रेड से यह साबित हो गया है कि बीबीसी की जो डॉक्यूमेंट्री में नरेंद्र मोदी और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के बारे में सच्चाई दिखाई गई है वह सही है, और उसके बारे में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पास कोई तथ्य नहीं है उसको काउंटर करने के लिए। अगर कोई तथ्य होते तो उसके बारे में कानूनी कार्रवाई होती। तो इससे भारतीय जनता पार्टी और नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार बीबीसी को डरा रही है। अगर बात फाइनेंशियल सर्वे की थी तो वहां पे तमाम पत्रकार लोग हैं, उनके आप लैपटॉप और मोबाइल गैजेट्स को आप सीज कर रहे हो, इसमें कौन सा फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्ट लगा लेंगे? आखिर में किस तरह से आप देखते हैं कि इन पत्रकारों के मोबाइल में फाइनेंशियल सर्वे करने के नाम पे आप जा रहे हैं? अभी जो जारी हुआ है, जो सरकार ने जारी किया, वो कह रहे हैं कि हम फाइनेंशियल सर्वे करने के नाम पे गए हैं। तो ये फाइनेंशियल सर्वे अडानी के यहाँ क्यों नहीं हो रहा, जो लाखों करोड़ों रुपए देश का डुबा रहा है इस समय? वो फाइनेंशियल सर्वे बीबीसी पर क्यों हो रहा है?
Right, you're drawing a link between two different things. But PKD, I want to ask you, India has fallen to 150th place of the 180 countries as far as, Reporters Without Border Press Freedom Index is concerned. This obviously will not help. There is a inherent messaging in all of this.
मैं आस्क यू समथिंग, मैं हंस रहा था, कोई भी कभी भी आज तक मैंने को देखा नहीं होगा कोई पैनल डिस्कशन में मैं हंसते हुए। मुझे आज ये जो मेरे जो दोनों युवा नेताओं को मैं देख के मुझे इसलिए हंसी आ रही है कि दैट पहली बात तो ये है कि सबसे पहले हर चीज को मिलाना और मिक्स करना कोई जरूरी नहीं है, एंड दैट इज नॉट पॉलिटिक्स। पॉलिटिकल डिबेट एंड डिस्कशन शुड बी ऑन अ टॉपिक, and the topic should be on a merit. We should speak on a facts. Then it becomes a straight message, especially from if both of you are representing some strong organization. That is an advice to both of you. Now let me tell you the topic. That the report of the Freedom Report or Hindenburg Report, some of these Western countries' motivated reports are not the one which is going to define the democracy of India. We are a 1.4 billion people. We are one of the largest economy. We are a growing superpower. We are not going to be जैसे कहते हैं ना कि जब चार दीवारी के अंदर 10 लोग बैठा हुआ एक कंपनी कहीं पे बैठकर उसकी जो मनगढ़ंत जो रिपोर्ट बनाते हैं, that is not going to define the India, and that is not the report we should even give any importance in Indian context to discuss. I'll give you one example. The hunger index, for an example. Imagine we are the one who is supporting Afghanistan for their food daily. We are the one who is giving food and every kind of support to Sri Lanka. We know what is happening in Pakistan, and the World Hunger Index, so-called index, we feature much lesser below them. And then you expect all of us to believe in those reports and discuss and debate in India? I think let's talk to the fact. As far as the BBC income tax raid is concerned, income tax search is concerned, income tax is not even a search. Let me tell you, search happens when there is a raid take place.
It's a survey, they say.
So income tax survey, when it take place, it is very simple. All those who are, especially to my both the young panelists, whenever an income tax survey happens, the officials comes, they ask all the people who are present in that particular place either to stay, remain there, or there is a protocol, very well written protocol, which every officer can have to follow. Then all those who wanted to leave may have to give their communication thing there, or those who are staying there, they will also have to put up their communication. They are not supposed to communicate to anybody else till the time the officers leave. That is the customary thing. It is not because of Narendra Modi. It has been there ever since we have the CBDT as a practice in India. Now coming to the point. Of course, I do understand there can be a question that why this timing? Now also let me ask you this question again, that what was the reason for the timing of the Modi, the documentary what they have released? I think let's not paint BBC as the Doodh ka Dhula hua, or Hindustan or the current government is all bad. That is not the way to construct or debate this particular thing. There is nothing to do with Adani and BBC. Maybe we don't know tomorrow BBC maybe Adani may buy BBC. We don't know that. Na? So I think let's not jump the gun. Let the things happen over a period of time. Let it follow. If there is a political vendetta by anybody, that will also we will get to know. Till
Right.
that time,
We got Uma ji back with us. Uma, can you hear her? Can you hear?
Yeah, I can
Can you
hear
hear me?
you. Yes.
Okay, you're back with us. Some say that this is an effort. Today's surveys are an effort to intimidate the BBC. What do you have to say?
See, one thing I really don't understand this argument of saying that Indira Gandhi banned the RSS. Indira Gandhi brought in emergency, I would say, the only person. So let us not talk through our head on this. And this is BBC. I'm very much thinking why what we are going through is the straight answer. They have made a mistake and they are going to. Hello?
Yes, we can hear. Please speak on.
See, one thing is, I don't understand people trying to take cudgels on behalf of the BBC here. They have made a documentary which is demeaning us, which intends, the timing is questionable, and they are trying to bring down the image of the country. They are trying to bring down the country. This.
Right.
So I don't think, I think there are enough enemies for us within the country, and still we are trying to lick the feet of the British. When you people talk about freedom and all that nonsense, enough torture and enough genocide of the Indians have been done by the BBC. And what about the jewels, everything? So let us not stand for the BBC and still lick the feet of the colonialism, imperialism. I think let about us.
Let Sarvesh Mishra respond, please. Sarvesh ji.
बड़ा दुखद हो रहा है कि एक समय जिस हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी कहते थे कि बीबीसी को देखता हूं तो मेरी विश्वसनीयता की बढ़ जाती है, विश्वसनीयता के लिए मैं बीबीसी देखता हूं। आज उसी बीबीसी को गाली देने के लिए, उसी की इमेज खराब करने के लिए पूरी भारतीय जनता पार्टी ऊपर से लेकर नीचे तक उतरी पड़ी है। अभी एक पॉलिटिकल एनालिस्ट महोदय थे, उन्होंने कहा कि हम दुनिया की इन रिपोर्ट्स को नहीं मानते, हंगर इंडेक्स में वो दुनिया का जो आंकड़ा हमें मिल जाता है वो हम नहीं मानेंगे। तो किस देश का आंकड़ा मान लो? सरकार कहती है कि 80 करोड़ लोगों को हम फ्री में राशन दे रहे हैं, गरीबों को राशन दे रहे हैं, उसका आंकड़ा मान लीजिए। आप ना इधर की मानते हो ना इधर की मानते हो। आप दूसरी बात लेकर आते हैं, आपने इनकम टैक्स की रेट डाली, आप कह रहे हैं आपने फाइनेंशियल सर्वे करवाया। हम लोग भी थोड़ी जानकारियां लेते हैं कि फाइनेंशियल सर्वे, रेड और सर्च में क्या डिफरेंसेस है। फाइनेंशियल सर्वे की क्या प्रोसेस में है कि आप उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम करने वाले सभी लोगों के पर्सनल लैपटॉप्स और गैजेट्स को सीज कर देंगे, उनके आप पासवर्ड्स लेकर जाएंगे, या आप किस तरीके आज के हमारे पत्रकारों के अधिकारों का हनन कर रहे हैं। आप फिर उसके बाद कहेंगे कि पत्रकारिता के इंडेक्स में जो हमारा आंकड़ा गिर गया इसको हम नहीं मानेंगे। आप रोजाना आईटी के माध्यम से पत्रकारिता का हनन कर रहे हैं, पत्रकारों को जेल में डालकर उनका हनन कर रहे हैं, और फिर जब आप इंडेक्स में नीचे आ जाएंगे तो कहेंगे नहीं प्रेस फ्रीडम इंडेक्स, तो हम इसको नहीं मानेंगे, हम इसको मानने पर नहीं आते हैं। आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने जारी करे कि अगर हमने फाइनेंशियल सर्वे के नाम पे आपने बीबीसी के ऑफिस में रेड कराई है, तो इस रेड में आपने तरीकों को क्यों नहीं फॉलो किया? आप ऐसे तरीकों को क्यों आजमा रहे हैं कि ऐसा लगे कि आप बीबीसी के संस्थान पे, पत्रकारिता के इतने बड़े संस्थान पे आप वैश्विक स्तर पे हमारे बदनामी कराने पे लगे, भारत की सरकार की बदनामी कराने पे लगे हुए हैं।
Right. Yes, ji, you want to come in before I give to Rahul ji for the last word?
Yes, I do. See, Mr. Nambiar ran away like every random BJP associate, and I would want to tell him that
no, he had said that he had to go early. Yeah.
That is fine. But I would want to tell him that I would have been happy being a random young person around had people like him not started acting immature. Someone in the parliament acted absolutely childish and disgraceful, and so many someones are acting the same way. Many people are acting the same way, and that is why people like us are here. I am here. And also, when he speaks that this debate is about BBC being raided and not anything else, then he would also not have mentioned this hunger index and India being a superpower in a country where 80 crore people are being fed for free and being advertised. So about the BBC raid itself, Zaffarji, I would want to say again that I had played the audio in the beginning that Narendra Modi ji praised BBC himself. So all these people who are now questioning BBC and saying what not, I want to pose a question. What if tomorrow you see Narendra Modi ji praising BBC again? What will you do? That is my final word.
Okay. Rahulji, last word to you. You know, India prides itself as being the largest democracy in the world. But ahead of G20, don't you think that this is wrong messaging? This presents the country in a bad light. Of course, it's been reported across the world. Survey on the BBC is a big story, not just in BBC, but other media organizations, international organizations are also covering it and linking it with the documentary.
They are bound to link it. Everyone with any sense would link it so clearly. It's so in your face, so clear, so self-evident. So, as I said earlier, I'm surprised at the immaturish way the government has reacted, or government is reacting. Firstly, the effect of banning the documentary itself. Now, banning a documentary which has not been officially released in your country, what purpose does it serve but to give the country a bad name and the government a bad name internationally?
Right.
If we are a strong democracy, a self-confident democracy, we can take criticism. So, even the Prime Minister or anyone for that matter should be able to take criticism. That's fine, and go on. No one is going to. India is not going to become unstable because a documentary is not a war against the nation, or it is not out to create disorder and public disorder. These are the laws under which it has been banned. Emergency powers have been revoked. What is this? No, I mean, no. We are the largest democracy, but we also need to become the greatest democracy, the most self-confident democracy, most mature democracy. These are not signs of maturity. These are signs of immaturity and very fragile egos. We are displaying fragility in our state, where it's not really there, and there is no need to fear that the country is going to, or the state is going to wither away or going to be weak because of a documentary. It doesn't happen. No, it doesn't happen anywhere like this.
Right. In fact, it gives more publicity. In fact, it gives. Yes, in fact, it gives more publicity to the documentary. Those who were not knowing about the documentary, they got to know about it after that ban was.
What is going to happen? You can take it from me that the entire global world, the democratic world, global press is going to comment on it. Editorials are going to be written on it. So we are, by this fact alone, this raid is going to attract global, international questioning of the government. So it's not going to help in any manner.
Right. So, yes. So that's all the time we have, in fact, for today's show. But thanks a lot to all our panelists for their inputs and their understanding of this issue. Thanks for joining. That's all the time we have on the show. Thanks for watching.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.